Hello, beautiful ones. I hope that you're all doing well here on this waxing gibbous moon, this moon cycle that started a couple of weeks ago and has now grown. If you look up in the sky, it looks like an egg shape. So the equivalent of a waxing gibbous moon is that, that 21-year-old, that Beltane energy of high spring, everything is juicy and fully, the flowers open, the bees and the birds and the bees getting into their flowers, and really sexy is the waxing gibbous moon. And it's full, it's this full potential of what is growing into the fullness that will be on Saturday. And it's also time for action. So all those things that we planted, the intentions, the prayers, anything that we were doing on this new moon a couple of weeks ago is now well and truly here, and we're seeing it and we're going, okay, what is the one or two things that I really just want to throw my energy into action? It's no good just saying these things. We've also got to action it. That growing moon, that fullness is about action. I think that famous saying that before enlightenment chop wood carry water, after enlightenment chop wood carry water. This waxing gibbous moon into the fullness is all about getting out there, and even if it's just little steps, even if you just do one thing that goes towards that growth of your dreams, do that. As long as we are experiencing, going with that flow of the cycle. The cycle doesn't stop, the seasons doesn't stop, the moon cycle doesn't stop, aging, it doesn't stop, even though that we're being programmed to think that we should stay this 21-year-old. But we keep going. It just is a keep going cycle. And what happens if we stop? What happens if we don't action things, and we don't move with the flow? We get stagnated. It's like that water, talking about Pisces, that Pisces full moon, which is mutable water. What happens to that if it doesn't move? Water becomes stagnant, and stagnation becomes, the life force stops and it dies. The water becomes polluted, and it's like that murky puddle that you see in the streets it's just been a puddle and it hasn't moved for a few weeks in the hot sun, for example. It just becomes void of life force. And so we are here as earth beings to call in a magical and blessed life. And to do that, we actually need to take the steps forward and get ourselves out there, even if it feels really scary, because one of the things that we have also been taught and programmed that not to stifle our creativity, that we should be kept small and be like machine and robots. I guess that wounding that comes from that, if you think of Chiron and sacred wounding, that's the wounding to go, okay, so I see this wounding that I've been taught to keep myself small. I see this wounding of that programming that to stifle my creativity, that I am not a creative being. Everybody is. That's what we're here to do, is create. Mother Earth, you look around, she is the creative being. We're here to sit in her energy of creation. And, if we're not doing that, we're stagnated and we're not contributing to the life force and flow of the Mother Earth. And, we really need to do this, because, we're seeing what happens when we're being too much programmed to be a machine, that become controllable and everything becomes void of life. Pollution sets in. And so what's the antidote to that? Well, to step into our heart spaces and to see ourselves as magnificent creative beings, and to see ourselves that we have a gift. Everybody has a gift to contribute to the growth and to the expansion of the vibration of this earth. And for humans, we're being taught to be machines. And what happens? What's happening? What is happening? So this is an invitation at this waxing gibbous moon to, be brave, to step out into the world and, show us your heart, show us the gifts that you're here to give, and to just step forward. And if there's a block there, do something about it. Reach out. There is so much support for everyone out here. We just need to say yes to ourselves and say yes to, raising the earth, raising our vibration. Say yes to love. Say yes to love. Please say yes to love. We the children and the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, they're calling us to say yes to love, say yes to our hearts. And with this, here in the Southern Hemisphere, we are in this point in the cycle that we are moving between Imbolc, the birth, into, spring equinox. Spring equinox, equal day, equal night. We are growing, the light is growing, and this is equivalent to like a child. And so again, there's an invitation here to look with wonderment and look with childlike eyes, with this vision of newness and wonderment and joy, and look at a flower that's about to bud and just look at the magnificent beauty of that, and what the potential of what that's going to bring is pollen for the bees. It's going to bring beauty and color to the seeing eye. It's going to bring food for the insects. It's this wonderment that again, as living in this Western culture, we've been taught to grow up so quickly. Our children, you just have to look at the fashion. They're being taught to grow up so fucking quick. A 12-year-old, has their phone and is just in this. You see kids walking around like this, and they have no idea what's going on around them. And I say this for myself as well, as adults, we're here to set an example because they only see us adults doing the same thing. And so again, to bring back this wonderment of childhood and childlike eyes, of newness and potentiality. This is that season to move with it. It's like an invitation to move with this energy that sits between that Imbolc, that birthing, and the autumn equinox, which is equivalent to adolescence. And so this point in the cycle of what are we calling in between now and next winter solstice. This is the time of the budding. We're planting our summer seeds for our summer harvest. This is the time to really again set the intentions and nourish the seeds of what we want to see come in, for the next 10 months. When we work with the energy, we're working with this powerful force that is this galactic, cosmic energy that we can tap into, and it's here. We just got to come back and connect back into the earth, connect back into our hearts and our bodies, and center ourselves down. It's like that, coming back to our roots and sitting with the earth and just deep listening as to how we can best serve for the betterment of all. Oh gosh, that was a big spiel. So, if you're couple of things. We've got a couple of things coming up. So I am starting at Acorn and Oak and in Dalesford, Monday and Wednesdays, offering counselling and holistic space holding. And I specialise in women's well-being, especially birth and transition periods, but also with grief and that deep sort of the our woundings that we get. So I sit and hold space for that. So I am offering my services in that way. We've got Tash and I are part of the Red Thread Healing. We've got a couple of shamanic drum making workshops, one in October, which is almost filled. I think there's only 2 more spots left, and one at the start of December, and we may even have a special cacao ceremony, heart awakening one at Beltane. So that's all happening. Liz and I are part of, Liz Maloney and I are part of the Sacred Birth and Mothering. We have lined up a couple of people to talk to on it for our podcast, and we'll be doing shamanic dimensions of pregnancy, School of Shamanic Womancraft, dimensions of pregnancy in November in Melbourne, Victoria, and yeah, I think that is it. There's lots going on. So lots of, this great fertility phase of calling in and working deep and going, to call in the gifts, and to do that, is a part of that, doing the work to go and be witness to ourselves so we can see what gifts, we've got to get ourselves out of the way, and the way that we do that is by seeing what is there. I think Jane Hardwick Collins always says, know thyself. That is a really imparted of that chop wood, carry water element of calling in your full potential, of stepping in and sharing your gifts to the world. So with so much love from my heart to your heart, blessings in this growing moon. May you use it and work it with the full energy that is offering us. It's like a gift. The cosmos is offering us a gift of this moon cycle, and the earth cycle is a cosmic gift. And how arrogant would we be if we didn't sit with that and be with it and use it, because it is a gift, a gift, a gift. You are a gift. We are all here as gifts to the cosmic energies. From my heart to your beautiful hearts. So much love. Okay, bye.